Vehicle dealerships need more leads all the time, and they can get them a lot cheaper by using these sponsored vehicle ad placements at the top of the Google search results page. Previously, only large dealerships like CarMax or Camping World could use these ad listings. But now in 2026, Google has opened these up to small to medium-sized dealerships as well, meaning that all you need to run ads here is a Google Business profile and a Google Ads account. So in this video, I'll show you from start to finish how to get this set up for your dealership. Let's get started now. Our goal in this video is to end with our sponsored ads showing it in this sponsored vehicles section at the top of Google search results. Here you can see I have searches for a Forest River RV that's for sale in my area. So I put Forest River for sale near South Bend because I live in South Bend, Indiana. The results here are for dealerships that are close to me. Shipshewana, Elkhart, these are geographically targeted ads that show your vehicle listing, whether it's cars, trucks, SUVs, or RVs. This is different from the past. In 2025, you might have seen large retailers, for example, in the RV space, Camping World, or other large car companies advertising here, but generally smaller companies couldn't advertise here. Now it's just a self-serve setup, which I will walk you completely through in this video from start to finish so that you can show your ads here in the sponsored vehicles section. This guide is all written down. You can follow along with the video, or you can go to our website and give your email address, and we'll email you a link to this file that you can use. And now I'll go ahead. Before I start, who is this for? So dealerships that are selling cars to the general public that are street legal. This isn't for motorcycles, boats, airplanes, or other vehicles like ATVs yet. It might be in the future, so keep checking. But for now, this is for RVs and car dealerships. So we're gonna get started with setting our Google Merchant Center and business profiles up to be eligible. So every step here, I'll just check off as I go along. We're gonna go to our Merchant Center account and get started there. So here's my demo merchant shop. You can see it's not approved. You can just ignore that for now because this is a demo shop. I don't have live products, but this will all work just the same for your store. So I'll come into my Google Merchant Center account. If settings isn't open already, click that. It'll pop out and you can go down to add-ons. That's the first step. We have to enable this feature. It's not enabled by default. So I'll go down and I'll find vehicle ads, and then I'll click add in United States. Add in United States. Okay, and now you'll see it move to your add-ons. So that means we're ready to go. So tick that off. Now I have to link my Google Business stores to Google Merchant Center. So what is that? It's really your Google Business profile. So if you go to businesses or business.google.com and then /locations, I'll link this in the guide. But if you visit here, you'll see your business profile manager. And if you're a dealership, you'll probably see multiple stores, a store per each one of your dealership locations. Now, I've blurred out most of these, but I have my business here, which is not a dealership, so it doesn't have a store code. But as an example, I have my business here in the second column, but the first column has the store code. And the store code is this number. It could be a letter. It could be numbers and letters. It's really whatever you set it to when you set this up with your Google Business profile. And so I have to make a note of that, and because we're going to use that later. But for now, I have to link this to Google Merchant Center. So I'm going to go back here and then business info. Then I'm going to click stores. And then you can see I don't have anything linked yet. So what I'll do is I'll go to add profile. And then the email address that I'm going to send this request to, this is a request to manage or for Merchant Center to link to this profile. So whichever email address was used to set up your store here, that's the email address that you'll have to send the access request to here. So for my store, it's this one. Whoops. And I'll hit next. And then I'm just going to hit send request here. It's just confirming that we're going to link that business profile to that Merchant Center account. And whoever controls that email, hopefully it's you, just has to respond to that request that's going to come through. And then once that person, or once you reply to that and approve that link request, you'll then see that link in here. So as an example, this is a complete one. So you'll see business details all filled out. Here I'll see link to Merchant Center only, 6. That's because this one has 6 dealership locations linked to it, which is like saying I have 6 of these locations linked to this Google Merchant Center account. And that way, all of the vehicle inventory at all these locations, we can list that inventory here and then run ads to it. So that's that step done. Now find your store code. That was just this code right here, which I already pointed out. So that store code, just hold on to that for later. In fact, I'll paste it here just so that I have it ready to go. That's my store code, and I'll use that later. All right, so now next under settings in Google Merchant Center, I'm going to go back here. So I'll go to settings, business info, and then I have to set up the rest of these. So I have to have all this filled out. So let me give you an example of a more complete one. So details, this is all filled out. The store is claimed and verified. I'm assuming you already did that before watching this video. If you didn't, look into how to do that. I'll put a link in the description. So then we have stores, which I just showed how to link those. And then next is countries. So add a country where you're advertising. And then once you've done that, you can add regions, but this is optional. So what regions are for is if you have a different pricing that's going to show to different users based on their geographic region. I typically don't set that up because that's kind of a rare circumstance. So, but anyway, those are all done. Add country, add regions, that's optional. Now, if you're not in the United States, you'll probably have been stopped at one of these points. If you're in France, Germany, Italy, Netherlands, Spain, or the United Kingdom, you'll have to apply after checking the prerequisites, which I've linked to here. You can just go to this onboarding form to request access, and what's going to happen here is they will most likely approve your request, but if not, you'll have the opportunity to talk to them, that is Google, about why it's not approved. So for now, Australia, Canada, and the United States, you don't have to apply, but with France, Germany, Italy, the Netherlands, Spain, and the United Kingdom, you do have to apply. Okay, so now our Merchant Center account is ready to go. We've completed all these steps, and the next step is data preparation, because ultimately what's going to happen is we have to get our vehicle listing data off of our website where customers can browse through our vehicle inventory. We have to get that data into Merchant Center. So how to do that? Well, there's a couple ways you can do it. I'm going to show you how to do that using a third-party app called Data Feed Watch. You can do this with other apps, or you can use a spreadsheet. There's all sorts of ways to go about doing this, but I would recommend using Data Feed Watch. That's what we use at my company. It's the easiest tool, and it just makes this much faster and more efficient in the future for optimizing. Data Feed Watch supports all these import integrations. So whether you're on like a WooCommerce store or one of these other platforms, or if you have a completely different platform, you can have your developer, that is, create a JSON file or something to send to you, an XML file, and then that can be used. So I've already installed this on my shop. I'm not going to show how to do that in this video because Data Feed Watch has a really easy onboarding system to get their app installed in your store, but I'm going to demonstrate with their app today. But if you're following along and you have a different app, you can just apply the same concepts to your app. So I've got Data Feed Watch, and in Data Feed Watch, my shop is installed. It's called the demo shop, and I have all these channels. So channels are things like Facebook ads, Google ads, or in our case, Google vehicle listing ads. We have to create a new channel to get this going. So I'm going to click Add Channel at the bottom left, and then I'm going to choose my country, and then here's a drop-down list. This is why Data Feed Watch is so easy and why I recommend it, is they have templates ready to go of the different feed types that you'd want to create. So I'll just type in vehicle. In the United States, you'll see vehicle listings and then vehicle ads version 3. Choose that one if you're in the United States. If you're not in the United States, just choose the one that has Google vehicle ads. So for example, Canada just has one. Just choose the one that's available. I believe it's only the United States at this point that has 2 options, and you want that second one. It'll just be a little bit easier. So draft, and then leave these settings as is. You don't have to change that. Add channel. All right, so now once I created the channel, what I have here is a list of all the fields that I need to fill out in order to submit a complete product data feed to Google Merchant Center. So what are these though? Fields are all these data points that are relevant to your product. So for vehicles, it's going to be the VIN number, the year, the MSRP, mileage, and so on. And that's all supposedly on your website. It should be on your website if you're advertising these. And so if you don't have them on your website, you'll have to get that data somewhere. But I would put it on the website. In any case, we're going to go ahead and start filling these out with what I have. Now, the first one, Google product category, if you mouse over, you'll see some helper information from Data Feed Watch here. The Google product category for vehicles is just this. If you go to, this is a complete list of Google's product taxonomy. You don't have to look through all of this, but you can see that vehicles, parts, cars, trucks, and vans, that's here, and it's 916. And I want to take that one, that 916 number, and submit that here so that Google knows what product category I'm using. Shop here, I'll do use static value, and I'll just paste that in, because that's not going to change per product. Okay, VIN. Now I'm going to leave this set to use. Use means it's going to pull data that's available from the store, or from the website that you attached Data Feed Watch to. And Data Feed Watch will just pull out all of the metadata for each product, and so you can use that here. So you can see I have a lot of different basically attributes about the product. I have one called Custom Vehicle VIN, because I have, and I'm using Shopify as an example, but you don't need to use Shopify. I have set up this to use a metadata called VIN. There it is. So now in Data Feed Watch is going to see all these pieces of data, and then I can just select them as I go. So now I'm going to just quickly go through and fill all these out. ID, image, link template is the difficult one. And so I've put a special section here regarding a link template. So a link template is your website formatted with a little bit of code from Google. And I'm going to step back and point out what are attributes. So if you check out this article, these are all the attributes that are relevant for vehicle listings. And you can see there what I had listed out before, things like the VIN number or the mileage, just pieces of data that need to be included for ads to show. If you click into any one of these, you'll see specifications on how to submit them, what they should look like. For example, with the mileage, I can see that I have to format it with the number of miles plus the word miles, or the number of kilometers plus the abbreviation km for kilometers. So as you're filling these out, if you have questions, just click into whichever attribute you're working on, and Google is pretty good about explaining how to use these. Now, link template is not one of those. It's a little bit difficult. Oh, and as luck would have it, they don't actually have an article on it, but that's okay because I've already figured it out for you. So the link template, back to where we started, so that's basically the product page or the vehicle page on the website. And we just have to append this code, \, store equals, curly bracket, store _ code, then close curly bracket. Here, using a feature that's available in Data Feed Watch called combine, I'm going to take my URL. You can see the URL contains that whole product, and then I'm going to add some text, which is \, store equals, curly bracket, store code, and then I'll click confirm, and then I'll just preview this. You can see I did combine URL plus the store code, and there it is. So I'll close that, and now note that I don't want to actually put my store code in here. If I were to do this and submit that, that would be wrong. Google doesn't want that. Google wants you to have this placeholder. All right, so I've done that. And then I'm going to go through and finish the rest of these attributes. We can see that the price, 180,000, it actually needs to be formatted to have the currency code at the end of it. So now it has USD, so that's correct. Then I'll click Save and Proceed. And the next step that data feed watch will push me to is whether I want to include or exclude products. So let's just say I have some non-vehicle items, like maybe I have accessories on my website, but I don't want to advertise them. So then I would choose exclude products only if maybe I have a type that includes accessories and those are not vehicles, and so I just want to exclude those. Your store will be different, so you'll just have to check. Okay, so I hit save and next. Now we're almost done actually. So once this processes, and it could take a long time if you have tens of thousands of items on the shop, but once it's done processing, just click copy feed URL, and then I'll go to data sources, and you can see I have some old ones here. Before you delete any old products, you'll want to download the existing data, just in case you need to reference it. It's just always wise to keep a record of that. So I already downloaded that once, so I'm done there. Let's see, yeah. Before you download, okay. Now I'm going to submit. So I'll delete that old feed, just assuming I didn't need that. I'll click add product source, add products from file, and I'll paste in that link, which came from here. And then I'll leave these settings the same. I'll make sure the country and language are correct. And then this last one is important for vehicle listings. I have two options here. I have an online store and then I have a physical store. The online store is for items that are purchased online through an online checkout and then delivered to the customer via FedEx or UPS or whatever. Those we're not doing for shopping ads, we're not doing those for vehicle ads. So I'm going to untick that, and we're only going to have vehicle ads on. Click save. So okay, now I have it all set to just vehicle ads. I'll hit continue, and then I'll wait for this to process. It could take a few minutes with just a handful of products. It could take 5 or 10 minutes with thousands and thousands of products. But once it's done, what I'm looking for is under my products and store products, if I click into one of the products that's been submitted, I should see this. I have all this blurred out, so you can't see much of it, but what I should see is under additional details, all those attributes that we sent via data feed watch. So the Google product category, 916, the mileage, this is a new one, it has 0 miles, the model, the type of product. This one has some extra data, which is the trim. That's not required, but we added that. The MSRP, that all-in price, this would be used for a Canadian dealership because they require that field. And then importantly, at the very bottom, I have it blurred out, but you should see multiple locations here. The first one will say online. It'll just be empty because we're not shipping online. We're only fulfilling with the in-store visits. So if somebody comes to the store, that's where they'll pick up the product or the vehicle in this case. And so here I'll see that location and the store code, and those should match what I have in here. So that's important. If you have this in here, then you'll know you're done. You'll also know you're done if you have the status as approved. But initially, when you submit your product feed for the first time, you're probably going to have to wait a little while. So let me submit that. So once you have your items in and you confirm that they're pending, so you'll see something like pending here, then you'll want to wait 2 business days, and they should start getting approved. If they don't, reach out to Google Merchant Center customer support. So I've confirmed that mine are in there. If you have issues, check out our troubleshooting section. Oftentimes, the issue that comes up is that link template, which is a little tricky. If that happens, you'll see this error, item missing required attribute link template. Or you might see something like missing value, store code, that could be gone. There's more reasons down below that you might need to check out for troubleshooting. There's all sorts of material here that you can go through if you get disapproved or can't get your items out of the pending state. All right, hope you found that useful. If you have any questions, you can reach out to me. I'm Austin at Austin Becker E-commerce Marketing. Our team helps set these things up for you if you're having trouble getting it done yourself. If you found this video useful, please subscribe to the channel and like the video. That really helps us keep producing more videos. So with that, thank you for watching and good luck advertising.